How important was it to you to have a sort of a solid partner?
Yeah, it's a big thing, seriously. Because she's never told me to stop trading or whatever. Like I've told her, a couple times, I lost $5,000 here. It's not really great. She's like, just keep going. Like I think she really realized like there is a lifestyle where you can actually make money online by just clicking a button, right? And it's limitless. There's no ceiling. There's no income cap to it. So as long as you have to find people, even if it's not a significant other, right? I said this on another podcast. It doesn't have to be a significant other. Like surround yourself with family members that are going to support you.
Yeah.
Right. Like I didn't, my dad's side of the family was like extremely rough around the edges.
Okay.
Cause they saw me like kind of struggling in school and like, you're being a bum. You're not doing this. You're not doing that, whatever. Now they, respect what I'm doing, obviously, and support me. But at the time, they give me a hard time, and my mother's side of the family was like always supportive.
Okay.
So like I got love from that side of the family, and
I think it was actually good.
I think,
both sides.
yeah, absolutely. Because, my dad's side of the family, like that's what, I guess, thickened my skin. Like I have an iron skin, like, and my mindset is like, nothing's really going to break me and nothing really bothers me. Like when people show negativity towards me, like it doesn't really bother me because my dad was very negative towards me too.
Okay.
So
at the time, was it a bit difficult to experience that? And then
yeah, he was definitely verbally abusive, and I can say that because he's not around anymore. But like that kind of put me in a mindset where like, all right, I don't really care what you think about.
Was that towards the trading or just generally?
Just in general, yeah. It wasn't really about trading, just in general, because I wasn't applying myself as much as he thought I could have, right? Like, I think he always knew that I was intelligent and like really good with computers and stuff. I just never applied myself in the right manner.
Okay.
Right? Because like from an Asian family, you're expected to go to school, get good grades, get a good job.
Yeah.
Become a doctor or scientist, something like that.
Usually,
yeah.
And then obviously going against that norm.
Very
difficult. And so like, in the beginning, do you think the video games, as you mentioned already, it was kind of an escape to begin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously, was finding your partner. So when you found your partner, you'd obviously tried. You were trying the trading, but at that time, were you still doing the video games as well?
A little bit, not as much.
Okay.
Because I started getting more into like a career, so I didn't have as much time.
Yeah, cool.
And even now, like I love to, I kind of just delegate like an hour, 2 hours. I play with my brother. My brother's on, I hop on with my brother like one time a week, and that's kind of how we stay connected. Because he lives like in Philadelphia, so it's like a 3-hour drive for me. But we do it like one time a week. I'll dedicate like 1 or 2 hours to just relaxing a little bit because I kind of wind down.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like more so. Now it's actually like a reward. You use it as a reward.
Yeah.
Because it's like people go to the clubs, for example. Yeah. You mentioned about going to a notorious party school, right?
Yeah.
So like when you went there, was it a lot of just partying?
It was a lot of partying. Not
for no reason.
Not a whole lot of reason. Like Thirsty Thursdays, it was like almost every night,
Yeah.
Like my roommate was trying to go to sleep and we were partying on Thursday. He had class on Friday. We didn't care. Like we were just in there making a ruckus,
It's interesting though, because I know that people do that and they get into that culture early on.
Yeah.
But then they're
stuck in it.
Yeah. It creates like a pattern of the week, even if it's not every day, of course, it becomes the weekend.
Yeah.
Just we're celebrating
their social group then becomes that.
Yes.
Right. So all their friends, if they're all going out at night, like you don't want to be the guy that's home, I guess, being the hermit,
Yeah. And it's so much easier than to justify doing it because you're like, we're all doing it. This is our thing. This is life. This is reality.
Yeah. It's hard to break away from that because you kind of have to like cut your friends off. Like that's really what it comes down to. You got to just cut people off and just say, no, I have to focus on my goals. Like I actually have stuff I need to do.
That's exactly what happened with myself, probably with yourself as well. Because it's a case of, it's not like they're bad people, the friends. For example. They're just living their life as you were. But then it comes to a point where you realize, I want to do more. I want it to be different. And the only way I'm going to do that is by changing. And the reason you have to cut them off, or maybe not every single time, so it's not like universal, but most of the time you do, it's simply because when you decide to change, they will feel a certain way about you, and they'll give you certain like comments, and they will try to drag you in. Again, not because they're bad people. That's just what they know. And plus, if you were doing it with them 1 minute, and the next minute you've changed, they are going to feel like, oh, what's happened with him, or they're going to try and get you back. So that's why a lot of the time you kind of do have to isolate and separate yourself. And it can be
like part of my friend group actually, like, we don't really hang out a whole lot, but they've all gone off and like created their own careers and stuff, and they're doing, they're doing pretty well. And honestly, like now when we meet up, it just means a lot more because now I haven't seen you in like a month. So now we get to actually spend a real quality time together.
You actually you actually get to talk.
Exactly.
What happened in that month rather than, oh yeah, last night, you remember when we went out here?
Yeah.
You know, or last week when we did this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's more meaningful, as you say. You know, and it's incredible to hear because I know a lot of people struggle with that concept of isolation. You know, they're a bit scared to take themselves away from what they're currently used to and their normal routine right now. Some of it's addiction, some of it's just that fear of loneliness. And I get messages a lot where they talk about I have these friends or family or whatever it may be, and I want to change, but what can I do? I'm struggling. And I'm always just like, you just have to do it. Like there's no like secret answer or like scalability, descaling.
Do you think like a lot of profitable traders are kind of introverts at heart?
I think there's an element of introverts. I think like they go through a stage where they're introverted, but then I feel like afterwards, once they've gotten through that journey, some can choose to stay introvert.
Yeah.
A lot do choose to be a bit more extrovert because
that's kind of what I'm noticing now. Because last year I was just at home, but I was grinding on my craft.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I don't have to work as hard because I kind of have that edge. I know what I'm looking for. And honestly, when I'm sitting in front of the screen all day long, like it's kind of productive for me.